Hello Divi Nation and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to install, customize and use the free header and footer template for Divi's Cooking School Layout Pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so the first thing you need to do is to download the free header and footer template. I'll include the link to the post in the video description below. So this is the actual post that has this free and header footer template. So what you need to do is to scroll down until you see this button here, and then this will take you to this area here where you need to add your email address. So I'm going to add my email address and then I need to click on download. Next, you're going to see this button which says download the file. So you're going to go ahead and click on it, and the files will be downloaded onto your computer. So what I'm going to do next now is to go to this folder where this file is and then unzip the folder. So here it is. I'm going to double click on that. And now this has pretty much unzipped our zipped folder. So in here we have this file. So I'm going to be using this in a moment because we need now to switch over to our website. All right, so this is our website. So the first thing you need to do is to go all the way down here to Divi, hover over here and then click on Theme Builder. Next, we want to come over here to the right and click on Portability and then click on Import, making sure that these two arrows are checked. And then what you need to do, remember that file that we unzipped, we need to drag it onto this area here to import this layout. So I'm just going to click on it and then just drag it over here. Next, I'm going to click on Import Divi Theme Builder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now this is installing our header and footer template. So now that our header and footer template has been installed, so before I can actually go ahead and save, let's take a look and see what this looks like right now before we make the change. So as you can see, we have this basic header here and we also have this basic footer. But now when I click on Save Changes, my header is going and footer is going to be applied to my website. So now if I come back over here and refresh, notice what happens. Now we have a totally different header. And if I scroll all the way down here to the bottom, we see we now have this beautiful footer. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we can go in and make changes to this and make some customizations. So I'm going to go back over here. Now let's start with the global header. So I'm going to click here on this pencil icon. So this is now going to take us into the builder itself. So in the builder here, there's so many elements that we can go in and make changes to. So let's start here with going into our section settings. So here, the quickest way to see what has been changed is to come over here and then click on View Modified Styles. So now here we can see that we have this color here, which is this part here. So if I were to go in here and change it, you can see now the color is changing. Okay, and note that there is transparency here. So if you wanted to take away the transparency, this is what it would look like. So you can play around with different colors here to match your branding. So pretty much this is what you need to do here on the main section. Now, if I scroll here, we also have direction, we also have padding, but what I would highly recommend here is to just change the colors because the layout itself is pretty much okay. All right, so I'm just going to discard all changes. Next, I'm going to go into my row settings and see what changes have been made here. So here, what I'm going to do is to go over here to the background and see if anything has been changed, and nothing has been changed. Next, I'm going to come over here to design, sizing, and this is where we have some settings. But like I said, when it comes to these headers and footers, you don't want to really play around with the sizes here of the columns. But the ideal situation here is to just go in and change things like the colors of the fonts and also the colors of the background to match your design. All right, so I'm just going to close out of here and I want to go into the actual modules now. So I'm going to come over here. Now, this is the main thing that most of you would like to change, and that is the logo. So I'm going to come over here and you can see we have a default one here called inner. So I am going to add my own logo here. So I'm going to click here in this area and then scroll down and see if I have any logos here. But in your case, you need to go in and choose your logo. So I'm going to go with Loudnik and upload an image. So now you can see just by doing that, I have pretty much replaced the logo that was there before. Great. Next, the other thing that you may want to change is the colors of the text here. So this is going to be the menu text. So you can see the active color here could be maybe this green, and I could also change the menu color. So here we have different options. You can see as I go through this, it is changing color. So you can choose your color based on your color palette or the colors that you're using on your website. All right, so pretty much that's all I need to do here. I'm going to save this. And then over here now, we have more things that we can change. You can see we have this text here. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and this is just our basic text settings. I'm going to come over here to design, and this is my text. So this is where you can go in and set your fonts. So right now we are on DM Sans. We can change this to, you know, whatever font that we want to change it to. And again, this needs to be a font that matches your website. Next, we're going to come over here. Oh, in fact, before I move on, let's go back over here to our content. So here where it says become a member today and get 3 free classes, you can actually go in and edit this text and match it to whatever it is that you want. And pretty much that's all you need to do here. And let's take a look here at the background. So over here, we don't have anything in the background. All right, so I'm going to close out of here. Next, our next element here is a button. So you can see here we have get deal. So we can change this to maybe get the deal or whatever it is. But this is how easy it is to change the button text. Next, you want to come over here to design button, and this is where you can change more information. So let's say the size of the button here is too big, the text, you can just make it smaller like that, or just leave it as it is. And you can also change the button text color, and now you can see I've just changed this to yellow, and that looks okay. So this is where you would go in and make all your changes. And over here you can change your button font as well. So I'm not going to make any changes here, so I'm just going to close out of here. All right, so while we're here, the next part that you may want to change is this color right here. So what we're going to do is to come over here to our layers, go into our section and click on my row settings. Next, I'm going to come over here to background. And as you can see, this is where we have our main background color. So we can play around with this, change it to whatever color it is that matches our design. So that's it with the header. So I am going to now close out of here. Now, before I can go ahead and show you how to customize the footer, I would like to talk about the menu for a minute. So I'm just going to go back in here, and you notice here that we have the main menu. This is the menu that I created beforehand. So you want to make sure you create your menu first in your appearance, then settings. And once you create your menu, this is the menu that you can select here on this drop down. Otherwise, you're just going to have this select menu, which does not pretty much give you a menu. So you want to create your own, and then you can select it from this drop down. All right, so I'm just going to close out of this, and then if you've made any changes, you can save all your changes here. So let me go ahead and save this, and then I am going to close out of here and save all changes again. Now remember, we had a different logo, which was this one here. So if I refresh now, you're going to notice that all my changes now have been set to the logo that I just recently added. So I'm going to refresh this, and now you see we have a different logo. And if also I'd made changes to this header, the changes would be pretty much going across the whole website. So let's take a look here at this podcast page just to prove to you that the header is across the whole website. So you can see here that we still have this header, and this is now the link that we've just selected. Okay. So that's how it works. Now, let me show you how to make changes to the footer. And also this is pretty much how the footer looks. So back over here, I'm going to click on this pencil icon, and this now is going to take us to our builder. All right. So over here, let's start off with this area here, this call to action area. So if we click here on our section settings, we can go to the background, and we can change our background color here, and also even add images if we need to. So right now we can see there's an image that's showing here in the background. So we can change and add our own image here to match whatever our company does. Okay, so that's where we can add our image. So I'm going to close out of here. Next, we're going to go into this text module. So you can see here, this is text settings. And if I click on this, this is set to heading 2. So if you want to make some changes to this text, you can come over here to design, heading text, and making sure you've selected heading 2. Now here is our font. So if you want, you can use DM Sans, and that will match all the fonts that we had. And this is a sign up button. So let me show you how you can change that. So I'm just going to save this, and then over here, I'm going to go into my module settings. And for this button here, to add your button text, you can just replace this. So I'm just going to add an exclamation mark. And that is how easy it is to change this call to action text. Next, you're going to come over here, and this is where you can go to button. And as you can see, use custom styles for button is already activated. So you can go in and make changes to your font size, the colors, and so on. All right, so that's all you need to do with the button. So I'm going to close out of here. Now let's take a look here at this footer. So I'm going to click here on section settings, and I'm going to go to the background, and you can see this is the main dominant color. So I can change it around just by playing around with the colors here. Next, I'm going to come over here to design, and I can see here we have dividers. So this is where you can either remove or you can keep your dividers, just depending on what you want to do here. So there are several divider types. So you can choose this one here, or you can just go with something a bit different. So it's up to you what you really want to go with, but we're just going to keep the default there. This is where you'd make the change. Anyway, I'm going to close out of here. And then next I'm going to go into my contact module. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, and you can see here these are our settings, but the main thing that you may want to change here is over here on design. Now notice that I can just hover over here and click on this pencil icon, and this will take me directly to what it is I need to make changes to. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down here, and let's say you want to add some borders. You can click here. And right now we have our border set to the bottom. So if you want it all around, you can just click here and set the size. So now you can see we have borders all around, but the default here is to just leave it there. Now, let's say you want to change the color of this line here. You can just go into the border color and you can just change it here. But if it doesn't work, it means you're selecting the wrong item. So you want to make sure you click on the actual icon that shows that you are working on the bottom line. Now we can go in and add some transparency to it if we need to, just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to save that. And next we also have our submit button, which you can go in and change to whatever color you want. Now let's take a look at these individual links. So if I go into one of these here, the quickest way to go in and add your links is by coming over here to link and then adding your title link URL. So this should point to the actual page that you want to link to. So the same applies with all of these. And let's say you want to change the actual text, you can just go in here and change the text. Okay, so this is where you can come in and make changes to the colors and also the actual font itself. All right, so I'm going to close out of this, and here is where you can change your email address. So if I click here on module settings, you can change your email here to the email that matches your company, and pretty much that's all you need to do. But if you want to change the colors, you'd come over here to design, and then this is the link text, and you can change your colors here. Now let's move on to the social media follow. So if I click here on this gear icon, we can add more social media links. So if I come over here, let's say you want to add Instagram, you can just choose your Instagram there, and now you can see it's added. But the problem that we have right now is it has now added a background to our Instagram. So to remove that background so that you match all these other links, you can just right click on it and then click on reset item styles. And now you can see that this now matches all my other social media icons. The next important part here is to go in and add your links. So if you click here on this gear icon, click on link, this is where you'd add your link URL. So right now I'm just adding a blank one, but you need to add your link to your social media page. All right, so this applies to all the other links. You just go into each and every one of them and click on link, and then you can add your link in there. All right, so pretty much this is how you can go in and make your links link to your social media page. So once you're done with that, you can just save. And finally, we have this text here at the bottom. So if you click here, it'll take you into this text right here. So this is where you can add your company name. So I'll just call this Mac Designs, for example, and this will update on your website. So I'm going to save this. Now, just to prove to you that over here, it hasn't changed. You can see here, it says 2020 copyright company. all I need to do now is to save this, and this is going to update. Right, so I'm going to close out of here, save and exit. And just to be sure, I'm going to save one more time here. And then when I go back to my footer and refresh, you're going to notice that this is going to update. So there you go, you have Mac designs. Right, so this layout is for a cooking school. So ideally, you want to go and use the pre-made layouts from the cooking school. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into all pages, and let's choose a page that we've just designed before. So I'm going to go with this podcast and click on edit with Divi. So what I'm going to do now is to go into my pre-made layouts, and I want to do that by clicking here on this plus button, and I'm just going to search for cooking. So now I'm going to choose a layout which matches our cooking school. So I'm going to click here on use this layout. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to match the colors of my header and footer to this pre-made layout. So that way I can now go in and make changes to my images to then match my images. So you can see here the colors here that we have on the header and inside this page pretty much match. And as I scroll through here, you can see also the pricing table here also matches, and also our call to actions. All right, so I'm going to save this page now, and we're going to do a final preview. I want to exit the Visual Builder, and this is what the final page looks like. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.